Yo, guys. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday, man. What's happening, man? Guys, what's happening? It's the main guy, it's your kid, it's that dude, it's your boy, Dodge Half. Yes, I'm wearing a suit because I'm on a part time job, okay? All right? Your boy just trying to live. Okay, your boy is trying to live, your boy is trying to say what's up, man. So, guys, remember, this is the Chill Out Sunday. I call this out the Chill Out Sunday, where you guys can ask me anything. Specifically, I want this to focus on non footballing questions. So, anything about life, the best food, the best restaurants, the best meals, coronavirus, pandemic, how your week has been going, how things have been going, movies. I'm a big movie buff, man. Snyder's amazing masterpiece comes out on Wednesday. I cannot wait to watch this film. I cannot wait to watch this 4 hour so-called masterpiece that's going to pop up on Wednesday. Who's looking forward to Falcon, that's flipping side chick trash character, and Winter Soldier? Who's looking forward to our stuff? Disney Plus. How good is Disney Plus? Really, what new movies have you guys watched, man? I want to watch a movie as well. I was watching Beverly Hills Cop 3 yesterday, It's all right. Peak Eddie Murphy was quality, man. So right now, Peak Eddie Murphy was quality, but I don't care what anyone tells you. Coming to America 2 was trash. I am not a nostalgia merchant. You best make a quality film. So guys, let's see what you guys are saying. So guys, send me those questions, whatever questions you want. This is an Ask Each Anything, specifically non-football. We'll deal with the football on the other channel, Football Hot at 10 p.m. because we've got a lot to talk about there. This is just relax, chill out. Let's have a nice laid-back conversation. Nothing is off topic. Well, nothing is taboo. Well, and so forth. So let's pry in there, man. Let's pry in there, man. Bro, I'm always here for this real talk, bro. That's always what I'm here for. I watched No Country for Old Men yesterday. It's a quality movie, but the ending ruined it for me. Okay, no spoiler alert. I'm gonna give you spoilers. And Javier Bardem gave me chills. No Country for Old Men is it's a good film. It's very well made. Although for me, it's not the Coen's best film. The Coen's best film is The Big Lebowski. I think No Country for Old Men. Josh Brolin was really good. Very well filmed. It's a decent film. I can't remember the ending because I watched it in the cinema, so I can't really remember what the ending was. But I remember just saying to myself that it's all right. Not a classic, not like something that I'd rush back to, but it's cool. Big Lebowski is a classic. That's a cult classic where you can watch that film for ages upon ages upon ages. Javier Bardem was fantastic in that film. Fantastic. And I think it was even my brother who said this. If you're making a serious Batman film, even if I was making a Batman film, that is how Two-Face would be. The way he was, and the way he was going to say, call it. You have to call it. Like that kind of energy and that kind of aura, that kind of tension, that is exactly how you'd want Two-Face to be. So Javier Bardem was quality in that film, and that's really what was his breakout performance. Because he was in I don't know whether you've seen Collateral with Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise. He was in that as well, and yeah, he was quality in there as well. Oh Lord. What's your issue with black people and Christianity? I saw a few tweets, but I didn't really understand what you meant. This is a larger topic, but I'll try and break it down to you. Christianity is mainly a white man's religion, So when you look at Africa, Christianity was brought in by colonizers who were whites. So Africa had their own religions and their own beliefs, but white people came in, brought it in and replaced it with all of the kind of religions that Africans had. You look at a lot of African Americans who are very much into church. Why is that? Because when you were brought over from Africa and you were brought over in chains and in slaves, Christianity and the Bible was given to you by who? Not by your people, but by white people. You look at the angels, angels are white. Look at how God is depicted. God is depicted as an old white man. Look how Jesus is depicted as a white man with blue eyes and long flowing hair, even though that was impossible because a Jewish person living in that era couldn't have had pale skin. So, and again, for me, I have nothing against black people being in Christianity and so forth, but it's just something to think about that, you're in a church with black people and everything on the wall is depicted with white people and so forth. And I always ask this question. There have been hundreds upon hundreds of popes throughout history. So many. There's not been a single non-white pope. And that's what happened. Do you wear designers? If so, what's your favorite brand? I try not to. There's a shop, there's this place in England called Camden Town. It's called Rockets. So there's a shop called Rockets, and they sell vintage clothing. So I always go there because I like to wear clothes that nobody has ever seen or looked at. So he was like, oh, wow, that's really nice. So the reason why I like that shop is because the clothes are very different. They're non-designer, and they have their own personality. Like, the worst thing is wearing stuff that everyone else has. So stuff like Nike, Adidas, like the new thing now is Balenciaga now that everyone seems to have, which is, I'm like, now. So no, a lot of people wear Supreme. I think the women wear Balenciaga, the men wear Supreme. I can never be caught wearing anything that has this massive brand on it, because then again, you're a sheep. You're just a follower. The whole point of fashion and design is you showing your personality and so forth, which is why, like, whenever you see, because in Camden Town you get, well, not as much now, but still to a degree, you get a lot of these punk people. So these are guys who have like the mohawks, wear dark stuff and everything, and it's cool because you're showing your personality. So yeah, that's my thing. Will religions ever disappear? No. Impossible. Religions have always, in some shape or form, always been parts of human history, because religion isn't just about the church or the mosque or the synagogue. Football is a form of religion. Celebrity is a form of religion. It is within human nature to worship something, to idolize something. That will always happen. You will always have certain people, certain things, people wanting certain ideas just because of how our mind works and how our brain works. So religion is something, in some shape or form, will always exist. It will always exist in some shape or form. So it is impossible to have a world where there is no religion whatsoever. It's impossible because of just how we are as human beings, And look, religion helps people. Religion helps people. Where it's wrong is when religion now promotes violence. That's when it's like, stop, let's chill. But there are many people who say, man, without religion, I would have killed myself. Without religion, I would have been depressed. Without religion, my life would have been shocking. So who am I to begrudge those people who say religion has helped them? 100%. For me, I say that I am spiritual rather than religious, because growing up with very strict Christian views, it didn't rub off well on me because it was forced upon me. But I still pray and I still believe in spirituality, So you may say I'm maybe more agnostic than being hardcore religion, man. All right, what movie are you looking forward to this year? I'm looking forward to many. Dune. So the Batman film is next year. So the sense of New York is no Gandolfini. I'm still going to watch it because I'm still interested, and I think Vince Chase is still involved in it. But Gandolfini was the heart and soul of that whole thing, man. And without having Gandolfini, I'm like, But yeah, I mean, that's but definitely Dune. I think Matrix 4 is next year. I don't think Matrix 4 is this year. I mean, if Matrix 4, obviously. If I'm not sure whether Matrix 4 is this year. If it is Matrix 4, I don't know whether John Wick 4 is this year. If it is John Wick 4, but I think John Wick 4 and Matrix 4, because of the pandemic, are going to be pushed to next year. So if it's this year, I think it's Dune. Unless I'm missing something else. It's Dune because next year is Batman, Matrix 4, John Wick 4. Yeah. I think that's really the only one in there, man. Let's see. Do you think that people should protest against sexism? Example, in the Sarah Everard Vigil. Darren, I'm just going to answer that, man. It's a funny thing. So, yeah, I mean, sexism is definitely a thing here, but all I'm saying is this. I'm looking at the vigil and so forth, and I just have questions. I think it is right that people should protest. People have a right to protest and so forth. But I just have questions. So my question is this, is that have there been several kidnappings of women happening in the UK, in England? Because if there have been, okay, boom. So is this sort of like a pandemic? Is this a thing like, man, there are several women who get kidnapped, who either get raped or get killed? If that is happening on a frequent basis, then boom, protest. If it isn't, I just ask the question, okay, then why the protest if this isn't a regular occurrence? This could just be a horrible, 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 very unfortunate event that happened to someone. Another thing here is, so why is this now an attack on men? Because you had police officers who have a job to do. The UK screwed up with the virus, thanks to Boris and so forth. And they're working very hard to ensure that there isn't a third wave. Because there was a second wave and this country's economy and so forth has been screwed over by the handling of the pandemic. So the governments are very, very adamant in ensuring that there is no second wave at all. Hence why England have one of, they say, England have the strictest lockdowns in the world. So the police have been told that if too many people gather, they have to disperse it for the safety of the public. So why is there a narrative that, oh my gosh, the policemen are doing this because, and this is that you have these male policemen who are grabbing women and so on. Like, wait, what? So now the male policemen are now sexist? They're not even on. They're doing their freaking job. Which is that if too many people are gathered, if you're not socially distanced, they've been told to disperse. So don't lump these male policemen with the guy who is currently a suspect. That guy, yes, he's a police officer and a suspect, but all because he's a suspect, it doesn't mean that you now have to vilify a whole police force. Because the police, they ain't great and they do crazy stuff. But my thing is that I just don't understand why there is now this massive protest. Because when I say, okay, we feel unsafe and so forth walking at night, all I want to know, what are the numbers of women who have been kidnapped and killed in the UK in the past month or the past year? If the number is high, okay. But from living in England, looking at the news, I don't think knife crime, that is a serious issue. Knife crime is the big, massive issue that's happening right now. I don't know whether women being kidnapped and killed is a thing that's happening, a regular occurrence. This story is like, oh, geez, damn, this is... I can't remember the last time that this happened. So I just have questions. But again, if you say this thing in public, you will be viewed... Hence why I say, I can only say this to you now. I will never tweet this. If I tweet this now, I'll be seen as, oh my gosh, how dare you? We have to live in a world where people have views. Bro, if you're racist, I'm interested in your view because I'm like, okay, why exactly are you racist? Now, I don't have to deal with you. I can mute you. I can ignore you. But we have to be realistic. And we have to hear different points of view and why people think the way they are. We have to be ready to be like, okay, this person thinks this way. What he says is garbage, is crap. But he thinks this way. Why does he think this way? So that's the key thing. Um, the real deal. This is a non-football thing. This is a non-football thing. Okay, please send non-football questions. So, real deal. Thank you for the dub, though. Thank you for the dub. He scored it against Cagliari. They're 17th in the Serie A. It doesn't really matter. Score it against better opposition. You scoring 10 goals against sidemen means completely and absolutely nothing. So, that's a good one. Favorite Kevin Spacey performance. He was very good in House of Cards. He was very good in House of Cards. But it's easy. It's easy. Usual Suspects. Fantastic. Usual Suspects was amazing. Seven had a small role, but it was amazing in Seven. Swimming with Sharks, because he didn't play the lead. It was a guy called, I've forgotten his name. He didn't play the lead, but he was pretty good in that. House of Cards, he was quality. The Negotiator, he was also very good in The Negotiator. Like, he's been very good. Glenn Ross, he was very good opposite Al Pacino. And I think Al Pacino actually fought for him to be in Glenn Ross. But if you were to say my favorites, probably House of Cards. I think House of Cards was where he really stretched himself. His best, most people would say, Usual Suspects. But what really sort of really showed you what's Kevin Spacey can do and why he's so good is House of Cards. Like House of Cards, like the guy was like, this is an acting clinic. I remember I began once. So before I did this whole football thing on YouTube thing, acting was my thing. You know, I went to acting school for a while. I did films. I did stuff. So acting was my thing. So I wanted to be a professional actor. But yeah, so Kevin Spacey in House of Cards, probably my favorite, I would say. Paul Kickling, man, thank you for the dub, man. Thank you for the dub, Paul Kickling. You might need to watch the Dark Seed and Flash individual trailers. I saw them a bit high on weed, and I think Snyder is trying to say what's up. Paul, the key thing here is you saw it when you were high. If you watch Snyder stuff high, it's my work. It's just my work. So maybe come Wednesday, I might sniff glue and try and watch it, because if you watch that thing fully sane, it's nonsense. It's a mess. So, because I think I saw the Batman individual trailer, I saw the Superman one and everything, and I'm like, it just doesn't hit for me. It just doesn't hit for me. Snyder is talented. He's a talented visualist, but as a filmmaker, he's a brick. He doesn't know how to make a film. When you look at Nolan and what he did with Batman, I hated Rises, didn't like Dark Knight, but even when you look at those films, they are well-made films. You look at Batman Begins, that's a film. The way the scenes are presented, the way the characters are presented, the way people talk to each other, it's a film. Snyder, it isn't a film. It's just a bunch of lines, scenes, and stuff hashed together, man. So look, I'll watch this flipping thing on Wednesday, and maybe I may sniff glue. Maybe I may sniff glue before I watch it, man. So, favorite main character in a movie. This is a tough one, bro. I'm going to give you a few. Neo in The Matrix Reloaded. Rambo in Rambo 2. Dutch in Predator. We said favorites. Oh, it's easy, sorry. Batman in the first Batman film. Like, that had a profound effect on me watching that when I was young, like huge. Because when you watch that first Batman film, the focus was on people say, oh no, Joker, because Joker was loud and so forth and everything. But for me, who is like an introvert and so forth and everything, just seeing what Michael Keaton and Tim Burton did with that character, oh man, like it had a huge impact on me. Like, it's the film I've watched more than any film before. And just that character, Batman in the first Batman film, superb. Absolutely superb, man. Um, your voice, H, the black hole makes you realize that this universe does not act according to science. We, um, I just saw Airhand's comments, man. um, do you know what the scary thing is? How little we know of this world. We know so little of this world because all we know is Earth. You did not land on the freaking moon. That's a lie. You did not land on the moon. Oh wow, you landed on the moon. Oh yeah, really? Oh wow, where's my moon base then? Where's my moon base? If you landed on the moon, show me that freaking moon base. If you can show me a moon base, you didn't land on anything. You landed on nothing. Heck no. So that's the first thing. Second thing. You look at just with black holes, and I think I hated Interstellar. I really did not like that film, but it was interesting how they talked about just how fucked up the universe is and so forth, man. Science is just human understanding. Science doesn't explain the massive black space of the universe because human beings don't have the mental capacity to even begin. To even begin to try to explain and understand how screwed up and how wild this universe is and how crazy life is. We are these beings out of atom living on a spinning ball that is spinning continuously in space. And we are just the third rock from the sun amongst other rocks. When you just take a moment and just think about life and just how crazy what we are doing is, your mind will just go blown, man. Your mind will just go blown. All right. Are you taking the vaccine, HH? You see, I don't view myself as an influencer. But people say, well, you have people that follow. Like, I don't like to even view myself as a guy who influences things. So my thing is that you should make your own decision. That's the key thing. I want all of you guys to make your own decision. I make my decision. You make your own decision. For me personally, I'm not taking the vaccine, because it's just questionable. And I have far too many questions. And I've just spoken to some people who have said, the vaccine and that. But that's just me. So I'm not a scientist. I don't have the right answers and so forth. So if you take the vaccine, perfectly fine. So I'm not one of those guys, because you took the vaccine, you're not going to get screwed over. No. You do what you want to do. You live how you want to live. I'm just of the mindset of, the way you've developed it was pretty quick and so forth, I already question the media. I already have issues believing whatever the media says and so forth. I talked to one of my good friends in Japan who is like a huge, amazing scientist guy. And he was like, I wish these guys maybe, spent a little bit more time. So I'm like, yeah, I might just cool off on that just for now. Favorite rapper versus most technically gifted rapper in your opinion? Ooh. Favorite rapper is Pharoah Monch. Most technically gifted rapper is Cannabis. Ever since I listened to Internal Affair by Pharoah Monch, he's always been my favorite. Obviously, I like KRS-One. I loved, basically, if I say my favorite rappers right now, Pharoah Monch, J Electronica, KRS-One. Those I'd say are like my favorites. And then you may throw in Inspector Deck in there as well. But peak Cannabis, for me, I don't think anybody has rapped to the technical proficiency and quality and performance as when Cannabis was at its peak, which was late 90s, early 2000s. So that's my take. That's my take, man. All right, what else are you guys saying, man? Um, favorite technically talented singer. Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston. You know. Um, Whitney Houston was another, but I love it. I mean, but I love George Michael. Um, Michael Jackson. But I think no, if you just say overall, just the best singer I've ever heard, just in terms of just technical ability, Whitney Houston. You know, Whitney Houston, like she's singing was off the shines. It could be. It could be. I wouldn't put it like. See, what I think is this. I think this is what's going to happen. What's going to happen is some companies and some businesses may say you won't be allowed to work until you've taken the vaccine. And they'll probably be like vaccine cards. So you won't be able to travel if you don't take the vaccine, or you wouldn't be allowed in his live show without the vaccine. You can't force people to take that. I think that's against the law. Hence why there's no country that has forced people to take it, because you can't. That is, unless you live in a dictatorship, you can't force people to take a vaccine. You know, that is totally undemocratic, you know, because people have to have, and that's the whole point, because it is still, because it's not 100%. If let's say it was 100% effective, efficient, then people say, oh, no, this is it. The fact that it's even nice, even if there's a 1% thing, that means that you can't force people to take that. You have to, again, encourage as much, promote as much, but you can't force people to take it. Like that's undemocratic. Oh, did I say the thing? Oh, talking about having the right mentality in life. Oh, let's see. Look, that's cool. Then, if you want to talk about mentality, like what I've always said about, I admire about Cristiano is his character. Because I remember I was watching his film, you know, and I think his dad died when he was pretty young, and I think his dad was in a war, and I think his dad had like PTSD based on like the kind of war he was in, so he had a weird relationship with his dad, and I think that when his dad died, I think that definitely formed the kind of character that he has, the passion that he has, and his focus. So what I've always given Cristiano, just as a sports person, is his amazing mentality, you know. And I think if you look at like a Michael Jordan, look at a Muhammad Ali, like mentality is what makes truly great sportsmen. Guys, you see, you have to look at the story. Before Ali was going to fight George Foreman, I think they said like his trainers were actually crying because they thought that he was going to get killed. They thought, oh my gosh, because think about it. Foreman lubricated Frazier. He absolutely circumcised Frazier. Ali had trouble with Frazier. So Frazier gave thingy trouble. So that's it. Wait a minute. If Foreman dismembered and dislodged Frazier, he's going to, and Frazier gave Ali issues, he's going to destroy Ali. So guys were saying like, Ali, you're screwed. But it just shows Ali's mentality in the first sense of, I don't have any fear. I don't fear this dude. I should fear this dude. My camp fears this dude, but I don't fear him. That is incredible mentality. But also the mentality to be like, I have a game plan to win. And I have a strategy to win. Because Ali knew that if I go in and just fight him the way I fought Frazier, I'll get destroyed. I'll get totally destroyed. Because the key thing is that I've got to win. And I can't win the way that I normally fight because this guy will tear me apart. So he said, oh, bro, I'm just going to just allow him just to punch me. And it is such a brilliant tactic that he used. Of like, look, let him just punch me, I'll block. Punch. Use all his strength, gets into his mind. When he's tired, knock him down, man. So, no. Mentality is a key thing in sports. Michael Jordan, you know, like Jordan defeated people before he got onto the court because Jordan had such profound belief in his ability. He had such profound belief in how he was able to win that he did. And which is why people have said the whole thing of LeBron and Jordan. Do you want the ball in LeBron's hand last 30 seconds, game 7, fourth quarter? Or do you want LeBron? Who would you rather take? Who would you rather want taking the shot? Fourth quarter, game 7, NBA Finals, 30 seconds to go. Do you want it in Jordan's hands? Or do you want it in LeBron's hands? LeBron is more talented than Jordan. LeBron is a better defender. He can play more positions. But I want the ball in Jordan's hands. Last 20 seconds, or last 10 seconds, fourth quarter, game 7, NBA Finals, because of his mentality. So, favorites wrestler of all time, WWF. I'll repeat this again if you don't know. I will never call it WWE. It's called WWE because the World Wildlife Fund decided after 300 years later to say, oh, we were named WWF first before we want to take a name back. Why didn't you do it before earlier? So no, I will always call it the WWF. I will never call it the WWE. So, favorite WWF wrestler of all time? Well, it's began with Hulk Hogan. Before I found out that homeboy was a bit of a racist. The Rock. It may sound cheesy and so forth. It's the Rock. Is easily the Rock. Because, again, look, I mean, obviously, like, you don't want to see guys with... You don't want to look at wrestlers based on race and everything, but there was something about The Rock where oh my gosh, what is it? Because there were not that many black wrestlers. Like before The Rock, it was Virgil and Coco Beware. Really, that was it. Of prominent wrestlers, it was also Virgil, who was $1 Million Man to the Bias's side chick, well, side man, and Coco Beware, who had a parrot. So The Rock coming through, oh wow! I remember when The Rock started. He started with the Nation. We are the nation of domination. Boom. But thinking about The Rock was that he had everything because he was a good wrestler, so he knew how to have good matches. He had a great finishing move in terms of spectacle, what the move looked like. Pretty good intro tune. Although Stone Cold might be the best of all time. And I preferred Hogan's mic skills, promo skills, but objectively would say he may have had the best promo skills of all time. Like he was incredible on the mic. Like the things he would think of, how he would control the crowd. Finally, I have returned to New Jersey. If you smell, and because look, when I was in school, bro, the amount of because we would basically fight in our classroom and we basically move the tables back, and then I'd basically like remove the elbow pad and then do like the people's elbow. So yeah, and also guys, remember SmackDown came from The Rock because he made that phrase so popular, they created a segment. So SmackDown exists because of The Rock, where, layeth the smack the downeth, So The Rock was like, he is the most impactful wrestler of all time. So much so that The Rock is a crap actor. Don't tell him I said this. Please don't tell him I said this. The Rock is a garbage actor. He can't act. He can't act. Although there is an amazing film that The Rock can be in. He just needs the right script and the right director. The reason why The Rock is the highest paid actor in the world right now is because of wrestling. So people loved him so much in wrestling. He made such an impact that he literally has a movie career and is literally the best paid entertainer in the world based on what he did in wrestling. So yeah, no. He was incredible, man. Favorite modern day rapper? Right now, it's J. Cole. Just for rapping, J. Cole. I would say like Kendrick is the best artist right now. Hence why we're still waiting for your freaking album, bro. When is your album coming out? So in terms of artist, but just for rapping, J. Cole. J. Cole, he's my favorite. Like, when the guy just flows and goes, I'm like, it's like water, man. I like JID. I like who else do I like? I like JID. I really like oh god, what's his name? Oh, how can I forget his name? Goldlink. I love Goldlink. Goldlink is really good because like he has a very unique flow, and I love guys who come with something original. And Goldlink's flow is very unique, so I really like Goldlink. So yeah, Goldlink, JID, I like, but for me, all out's favorites. Because see, for me, see, actually, but then I think about J Electro. No, you know what? The reason why I say J Cole is because he's more active. J Electronica isn't active. J Electronica is one of my favorite rappers of all time. So not only just modern day, like my favorite rappers of all time, I think it's between Pheromonch, J Electronica, and Bimbi KRS-One. So J Electronica is like an all-time favorite. But as far as right now, just modern day, I'll say J Cole. I'll say J Cole. Oh yeah, I am so behind on Attack on Titan, man. I need to roll on that, man. Um, yeah. So basically, I think they said that I don't know if this is true. They said they won't allow any foreign people to come in. So like I think mostly because there's still a pandemic and everything, so they won't allow any people to come in. But look, I love the Olympics. I love the Olympics, because like when you're in Nigeria, athletics is a very big thing in Nigeria. So athletics is it's a thing that everyone does, and it's a major deal in Nigeria. So when I was in school in Nigeria, like Athletics Day was a big thing. So Olympics is and I always love watching the opening ceremony. Now they may have screwed over a lot of people to do this. That opening ceremony for the Beijing Olympics was off the chain. That has to be one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. That's Beijing opening ceremony, Lord. But the reason why I so wanted to see the Olympics is because I've been to Japan. I know loads of Japanese people as well. And I wanted to see what these guys were going to do. Because you just know that they will have something crazy planned, in Tokyo for that. It'll be freaking crazy, And even my friend's mom even said, I want you to come back to Japan, man. So, this is an interesting story. What made you to listen to rock? So, before I only listened to rap, and that was it, because for me, I thought, oh my gosh, rock, man, it's just all this noise and everything, man, and stupidly, because I was a dumb idiot, I was like, rap is black music, rock is white music, which is stupid because rock and roll comes from black people. But in my stupidity, I was like, no, rap is black, rock is white, rock is just all noisy whatsoever, so blah blah. So I only listen to rap, and I always ignored rock. So 14 years old, secondary school, so used to share rooms. So I shared with this other dude, and he was a white guy, and he listened to rock, and obviously I listened to rap. So I'm not going to tell you to shut off your music. So I would play my rap on my side of the room, and he'd play rock on his side of the room. So I remember what guys did he have? There's this punk group that he had, very famous punk group. I can't remember. I can't remember the name. It wasn't Green Day, but there was this punk group. If you guys remember, what was a famous punk group around the year 2000? Around 2000. So. Or just around like 98, 97, So, but then he then played Rage Against the Machine. And then I was like, this is actually pretty good, And then I remember the first rock song I liked was, so obviously Rage Against the Machine, they did like a compilation album where they sort of did covers of stuff. So they did this one called Pistol Grip Pump. And when I heard that, I was like, damn. So After that, then it went from Rage Against the Machine to listening to Slipknot, then listening to Metallica, then listening to Deftones, then listening to Korn, and there's a while, and then why you realize that music is music, man. Like for me, I will never ever say, oh man, there's only this music that I listen to. I listen to also, like if you look at my playlist, you will see metal, you will see grunge, you will see alternative, you will see 90s pop, you will see rap, you will see 80s, all sorts of stuff. For me, just like if the music sounds good, as long as the music sounds good and I can get into the groove, I listen. Like for me, like I love Korn. Like Korn is a peak. Korn were amazing, man. So, I we passed through the airport. So when we were young, because obviously Ghana is next to Nigeria. I remember being in the airport in Accra, but I don't remember really going there fully. It's a place I definitely want to go to. So I don't know whether we went there, or we were just. I think we were passing through. So we're passing through, and we just stayed in the airport in Accra. But this is when I was super young. I must have been about 6 or 7. But I just remember, being in the airport in Accra, because a lot of my teachers were Ghanaian. My best teacher of all time, my favorite teacher of all time, was this lady called Mrs. Ganza. And she taught me when I was 6 years old. Let me just say my favorite teacher of all time, and she was Ghanaian, man. So yeah, because we used to have a lot of Ghanaians as teachers in our school in Nigeria. So, best guitarist of all time. I've always said this, man. Tom Morello. Always, 100%. Like it's not even a debate. Tom Morello, best guitarist of all time. The guy is insane. Because you have to look at the kinds of things the things he can do with his guitar, and the kinds of sounds that he can make, and just how dynamic he is absolutely incredible. So for me, very easily, Mr. Tommy Morello, man. Do you imagine Brexit will change London specifically in 5 years? I said again, Brexit was freaking stupid, and US and idiots were sold a lie. It will change it. How much I don't know, but it will change it, because I think I can bet you anything that London, just London, the city, didn't vote for freaking Brexit, because London is a cosmopolitan city, and what you find in England is people in the countryside hate London, and they hate it because it's so cosmopolitan and it is just such a mix. But the countryside, where people are upper class, posh, and so forth, these are the guys that voted for Brexit. But the more kind of working class guys who are much more integrated into different cultures and have much more cultural integration, which is what you get in like London, in Bristol, in Birmingham, and so forth. This guy's like, why do you want to cut off from Europe? Specifically when Europe brings so much business for England. Because what's it called? Because I used to work for this kilt shop, online kilt shop, and a lot of our business was from Europe, so French, German customers. So I can only imagine what Brexit would have done for my previous boss's company. So it was extremely stupid. But I just think that because London is such a amazing city that has so many amazing things and stuff to offer, not that freaking those royal bricks, but just so much culture in there. I think that it'll be tough, but hopefully it'll be fine in the end, man. It'll be fine in the end. What? Curfew? Because I was seeing something trending. Excuse me? Curfew for men, which is supposed to be by 6 p.m. Wait. So you're saying that all men have to basically be indoors by 6 p.m. So basically, men can't leave their house after 6 p.m. Is that what you're saying? Please, I am begging you. I am please tell me that's not what you're saying. Because if that's what you're saying is true, that is scary. That's see, you can't put a blanket on everyone. Not every white person is a raving racist. Okay, not every conservative is racist. Not every liberal is a psychopath. Not every man is a rapist. I'm sorry. So, all because there are a few stupid men who are sick sexists or sick rapists who are just disgusting people, don't lump them in with other guys who are very, very well. So, I hate when they say, it's because a few men do something, and I say, hashtag screw all men, hashtag men are sick, hashtag, like, bro, we need each other. Men and women, we need each other. We have to coexist. Because my thing is, so women, so what? So you just want the world to be run the way you want it to be run. That's not how the world works. It's called compromise. You know, we meet in the middle. We have a clear understanding. A coffee? Bro, my brain starts operating after 10 p.m. That's when I'm most active. Why do you think the hangout starts at 10 p.m.? 10 p.m. is where I pop off. You know, that's when I'm mostly awake. My brain starts to say what's up from 10 p.m. onwards. 6? The heck? But no. It's see that's you see, people just need to just chill, man. You know, you see, I am for women's rights. I have 4 young cousins, young girls. So I am very, very much, I very much care that they are safe and they live in a world where no man ever messes with them, because I truly deeply care about my young cousins, my young female cousins, you know. So 100%, like, I am very much about no. I make sure that young girls are safe, specifically my cousins and my family members. But there's a thing just called when you just take things to a freaking extreme. And there just seems to be this attack on men that makes no sense. You know? You can't just come out with a statement that said, man, all men are creeps. Oh man, men are so disgusting. No. The men you deal with may be disgusting. Maybe it's a son issue with you. You know? Maybe you need to go out and see other men. You know? It's like when people say, oh my gosh, man, all women are the same. Have you been to Japan? Have you been to Ghana? Have you been to Lebanon? Have you been to Alaska? The women take Europe. The women in Eastern Europe are totally different from the women in Western Europe. The women in East Africa are totally different from the women in West Africa, you know? So you can't just paint people with this massive airbrush. And the issue we're seeing with this stuff that's happening is, no, everybody is scared to say something that could perhaps anger a lot of these female groups, you know, and because they say, oh my gosh, you're being so insensitive, and I'm like, come on, no, we're not being insensitive. You're being freaking extreme. A coffee, a coffee, really? Come on, man. Yeah, no, Skyrim is amazing, bro. No. It does, but I'm saying that most basically I live for the night. That's what I'm saying. So, bro, nights clubs. Whenever I'm going to a bar or something, you pop up in the night. You pop up in the night. If we could have the hangouts out in the streets, we'd have it in the streets. We'd have it in the streets. And yes, I've heard about the Sarah story, which is very, very unfortunate, man. kind of like most women will tell you that they've been sexually harassed at some point. So I don't. No. You see, here's the thing: the curfew isn't the answer. It is. It isn't the answer. And the thing here is, what is the nature of this sexual harassment? That's the first thing. The second thing is this: a female group don't speak for all women. Case in point, the Me Too movement and stuff. All because women in England don't like how men approach them doesn't mean that French women feel the same way. Because French women feel differently from an English woman. Eastern European women feel different from English. Trust me. And see, I went to school with English women, English girls. And from my experience, English women are very different from Eastern European. They're both Caucasian. They're both white. They're both of the same race. But the way they act, how they operate, specifically to how they relate to men and so forth, the way Eastern Europeans are and English are very different. So the key thing is, don't just take what women from a particular culture say and just put it as this is what all women are saying. No. It's just what these women and how these women of this culture speak and react. Because what could be sexual harassment for women of this culture isn't sexual harassment for women of another culture. You can't paint everyone with one simple brush. So, what conspiracy theories do you actually believe in? The Dana one is dodgy. That's dodgy. Because there still have been no details released as to how that happened. And people said because the driver was drunk and he therefore crashed and so forth. Even though the optics of a royal person getting married and being with somebody not of royal blood and then having, so that royal family, those guys are sick. Those guys are sick. The moon landing. I don't even view it as a conspiracy theory. I'm like, nah, that didn't happen. Then there is the one of the Twin Towers where they said that there were explosives in the building, and they said that the way that the building fell isn't how a building would fall if something crashed into it. The way it fell, it goes in line with if you had explosives put in. That's a wild conspiracy theory because there's this documentary called Loose Change that talks about that, the whole thing. I was like, okay, that's probably one of the wildest ones. I'm like, I'm not too sure. But for me, moon landing, man. Those guys didn't sniff the moon, man. Complete bullshit, you know. Yeah, they had the mob, man. They had the freaking mob. Hey, Tony B, man. Tony B, what up, baby? Ooh, yeah, this is a nice one. Now, I know those pieces of crap, those losers are probably not going to pop this off. Desired GTA 6 setting. I've got two. One is, and I think they were thinking of doing this, is Tokyo. Because having been to Shibuya, visually that would look insane. Especially if you're not bringing the Yakuza and bringing samurai. So I think Tokyo would be crazy. That'd be insane. Now, the other one I have is a bit more controversial. Specifically with what has happened in the world. But I thought of this thing years ago, which is, did you guys hear of a game called Urban Chaos? You know, where you controlled these two characters and I think you were like a cop. So you work for like the LAPD and you're like a detective, but you sort of play like a crooked cop, or rather, sort of like a Mass Effect or Skyrim, you can choose to be the kind of cop you want to be. Like, are you like a cop on the take? Are you like a dirty cop or something like that? So you can actually, so basically you go out there solving crime. And we don't get, so something set in LA, you're an LAPD detective, and it's about dirty cops and dirty policemen, and about you solving crimes, going on different cases, and so forth, and sort of like a whole 7 kind of detective vibe of you solving things yourself. So that would be, because I don't think GTA have done the way you've married GTA, basically like LA Noir. So a mixture of LA Noir and GTA. So that, or set it in Tokyo, Shibuya, Yakuza, which would be freaking crazy, that, and that's why. But it's like these guys are so sorry. The excitement of every new GTA game is like, wow, what's the new setting? Because like Vice City, oh my gosh, Miami, GTA 4, oh geez, you're now bringing in a Russian guy and so forth. Oh, San Andreas. So it was always cool because a new setting brings a whole new vibe of it. But because these dickheads landed on a formula which is online works, and because so that's why I said I am not a gamer. I hate gamers. I am totally against the gaming community, because the gaming community, these guys have no imagination. I blame the gaming community for why we don't have a GTA 6, because these morons are still playing this freaking game for 5 years. Like, you losers, get off the freaking online game and say no. We're not playing your bum-ass online game until you bring in a new freaking game. Go into your lab and create something new. But no, they're making so much money. So they're making so much money because those dumbass gamers who have as much creativity as this freaking tin can are still playing the game. So as long as they play the game, Rockstar are getting money, and they're like, bro, we're cool. But it just shows you how little respect I have for Rockstar. Is you could be like, yeah, we'll make this money, but because we believe in our creativity and we are artists, we can hire a team. Yeah. Just hire a team that looks after the servers on GTA Online and say, boom, you 20 guys, you on GTA Online. All right, this Rockstar team, we're not going to do GTA 6. But the issue is, I think one of the houses left, who was one of the main creators. So it's basically all gone, man. Losers, man. Worst game I've ever played, me and my brother got really excited back in the day for this 2-player game called Army Men Sarge's Heroes 2. So it was a game where you could be 2 players at a time, and you could both control. So me and my brother, like, boom, 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 it's amazing. So my brother got it, we're excited. We started playing the game. I think this was on PS2. We started playing the game, and you're always shooting. So you can't stop shooting. You're always shooting. And all you can do is move your character left to right, and try to angle the bullets towards the opponents. We probably played that thing for about 3 minutes, turned it off, and then he returned the game. So yeah, mad. I'm going to bring back stream. It's just that I've been busy. Champions League, Europa League, and everything. I've been busy. So, but hopefully this week and so forth. Maybe later in the week I'll try and do it, because me and my homie Tony B are going to try and do some gaming streams, man. So hopefully me and Tony B will try and get onto Twitch and give you some of that Lalini. Red Dead Redemption 2, extremely well made game, supremely well made. But I preferred Red Dead Redemption 1. Red Dead Redemption 1 is one of the best endings to a video game I've ever played. Superb ending, an absolutely amazing ending, so, because see, for me, I'm not a gamer, and I'm not actually very good at games. The only games I'm good at are like Pro Evo, it's Become Legends, but actually like, so Pro Evo and management, so management games, Pro Evo, like Master League and that kind of stuff. Those are my things. But I like stories, RPGs. So for me, like, the main games I play are RPGs. So fighting games, FPS is not my thing, but give me a great story, sandbox. My main thing is RPG, sandbox, You can make your character black. I'm all in. Like the most I will ever spend on a game is Skyrim. Skyrim, I clocked about 70, 80 hours on Skyrim. Like I slept on the game. Like Skyrim and Mass Effect 2 all night. Like from like 10 p.m. to like 4 a.m. all night. You know, did everything. You know. So because you see, because I got Skyrim on my Nintendo Switch. Because I'm not gonna say the concept of Skyrim on a Switch is insane. I'm like, what the heck? But I'm still playing Zelda though. So, but I've not had time to play Zelda, so I've just been doing Animal Crossing, man. Um, Spider-Man No Way Home. See, I don't. The MC are just so weird, man. Because I'm like, it's for me. The two MC Spider-Man films are the best Spider-Man films, easily better than that horrible Amazing Spider-Man and better than the Raimi films. But I don't know. There's like an MCU stink amongst them that detracts from Spider-Man. So as good as it was, I'm like, I don't know. Why did he make Mysterio such a bitch? Mysterio, the main Mysterio a loser in it. So I don't know. I don't like how they made Mysterio, man. So I didn't like how they presented Mysterio. I also didn't like. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like stop making him a freaking kid, man. Just stop making the guy a freaking kid. So hence why I just want a Spider-Man film that's. Oh, sorry, I'm getting it mixed up. You see, there's so many homes. No Way Home. So I'm talking about Far From Home. Sorry, Far From. So No Way Home is the third film. Can we please stop making this guy a kid? Can we please stop having him pretty much hang around Iron Man's balls? Can we just make him the independence hero that he is? That's all I want. All I want is an independent Spider-Man film. Just where he is the true hero and people rely on the freaking dude. That's all I want. Make him an independent hero, man. You see, I'll be real with you. For a phone, Android all the way. Android all the way for a phone. Because for me, I just think the issue with Apple is everything has to be Apple. So you have to use iTunes. You have to use the thing. Android does MP4, does any kind of file type. Yo, let's ride. So for me, Android, bro. One of the best things I did was listen to my cousin, because my cousin is a programmer, and my cousin said, "You do media, you edit, get a Mac." I was like, no, man, screw Apple, man, no, man, Windows, what a baby, Bill Gates, man, Gates guy, what a baby. My cousin said, "You do media, get a Mac." I was like, oh, okay, you're the thing. One of the best purchase I ever made was my iMac. Amazing. So for doing media and editing, bro, Apple all the way, all the freaking way, man, all the freaking way. Very, very good up until the end. Up until it was revealed what was happening. But so since 5% of the film, oh great, like the suspense, the filming, and so forth. But up until just that ending bit, it was money. When you actually saw what was really happening, it's like, what is this it? Really? Best PS1 game. Personally, for me, Legacy of Kain Soul River 1. Many guys would say MGS 1, but for me, Legacy of Kain Soul River 1. Like when you play that, like the gameplay, the storytelling on a whole other level. So yeah, Soul River 1 on that thing, man. But a lot of people will say MGS. See, because I didn't play MGS, so I watched my brothers play MGS. So but Soul River 1 was That was crazy. But I swear there was another one. But there was a management game that was really good called LMA Manager. I don't know how many of you guys played. This is when you go deep. LMA Manager, man. That was a see now that I spent hours on. LMA Manager, Amazon. Yo, Danny boy, what up, baby? What up, Danny boy? What's up, man? H, I'm thinking of making a YouTube channel in the summer. I wanted to know what you wish you knew when you started your YouTube channel. Also, could you recommend me a camera I could use? Thank you. Okay, that's cool. So, first off is I want to know what you wish you knew when you started. Consistency. Know exactly what you want your YouTube thing to be about, and focus on doing it, and be consistent and timely. Those are the two key things. So as a viewer, you need to know that, man, this channel is active. And you have to know that, boom, if this thing happens, I know that this guy is going to cover this. So you have to be timely, on time, and you have to be consistent. Those are the two key things. So my thing is this, that you don't actually need a supreme camera to start things off. I would say use your phone, because the key thing about YouTube is what's the quality of the content. You can have the most amazing looking thing, but if the guy is spouting nonsense, who cares? You can film a thing on your phone, and most phones have a great camera, like the camera on the S8. So this is the S8, which has been about for years now. The camera on this is superb, great camera. But if you want to pop off, just like this is a very pricey. This is the one that I use. So this is what I use for all the football hall stuff and everything, which is the GH5. This is a DSLR photo camera. So this is pretty much one of the best cameras you can get in terms of visual quality, but it's pretty pricey. So I had to save up. For the first 2 years, my thing was audio. And I used an Xbox 360 webcam. Then I got like a 200 pound regular camera. But I still got interest because my content was quality. The audio was crap. The video quality was class A. So to start off, you just need to just use your phone. Then once you now get bigger, because literally the only reason I bought this was because of the money I got from donations and ads. Hence why I got this. But in the first few years, there's no way I could even dream of getting anything like this. So having a supreme camera to start things off, it's important. The focusing is on what do you want it to be about. Be reliable, be consistent, and make it really entertaining, man. The best unmade film, Superman Lives. Superman Lives, for sure. I feel that would have been pretty damn crazy. That would have been a pretty crazy film. Specifically when you look at what Button did. Because we say, oh, Nicolas Cage looked really dodgy in the Superman outfit. When you look at what he did with Batman, how he redefined Batman, he would have, before Button, Batman wore a grey outfit. And Batman was prancing about and everything in the TV show. He totally made people rethink how they viewed Batman, the general public. And for Superman, I think he would have, because what he was doing with Superman is, no, we're going to make him an alien. And we're going to really hone in on the fact that he's from a different planet. Forget all this whole Clark Kent, the American way. No, we're going to make him an alien, So I think it would have been very interesting because there's a documentary that goes into the making of Superman Lives, and I just think it would have been a crazy film. It would have been a very crazy, crazy film, man. Jesus. Oh, very good. Not my favorite Korean film. My favorite Korean film is The Chaser. But yet another amazing Korean film with one of the most shocking endings I've ever seen to a film. Like that ending will blow your mind, and I think it's a film that obviously depends just on the ending. It's still very well made, with one of the best scenes. That scene in the hallway, that's just an incredible scene. Incredible, just in terms of just the filmmaking, what it looks like visually, incredible scene. But yeah, good film, very good performance by the main actor. Good story, but yeah, it's an ending that you don't see coming, and will just blow your freaking mind, man. Right, I think on this last, and then I'll pop it because I'm getting ready for the hangout. Best film intro ever. It's between two. It's between the three. Remember, you said intro, so forget about the rest of the film. This is just the intro. The Dark Knight intro was very, very good. The rest of the film was brick. I had issues with it, but that intro, that bank jump was very good. The Blade intro is amazing because that is one of the best. That is the best introduction to a character in any film. Was that Blade One intro? But for me, I've got to give it to Blade Runner. Like that is the greatest intro to any film. Like how that guy starts that movie, you're like, what the hell am I about to watch? When you just look at the city, you look at the explosions, you look at the buildings, you just look at what you're looking at just on the picture, the level of photography of what you're viewing. You're like, damn, and the music from Vangelis, you're like, okay, this is god damn. What the heck is this? So it's definitely mad, man. It's definitely mad, guys. This has been fun. This has been great. Maybe we should try and do this more often. Just that it's so busy with the CL thing and so forth. It's quite hard to fit in these times. But I don't know. I may try and want to do it because these are fun. These are fun. So would you want these to be every Sunday or more often throughout the week? If it's every Sunday, then it's cool. I'll just schedule this for every Sunday. Or if you want these to be more often, then I'll try and find time to try and do these more often, like during the week. So how often would you want these kinds of open ask HH anything kind of things, man? So there's Sundays. Sunday. I bet. We'll do that Sunday. So guys, no, me and Machine will try and do it, man. Well, no, we mentioned we'll be back very soon, man. We'll be back very soon, man. So yeah, guys, I will see you again with this open thing, and I'll definitely try. We are working. Machine is just away, but I'm definitely working on doing more programming during the week and so forth on this channel, just to keep that content scrap, man. But I will be back here with this next Sunday. Peace out, stay true, stay real, and I'm out. One love.